Happy Wednesday, everybody. This episode is powered by some mint green tea in my Rasheed Wallace mug. Um, so this one, I wanted to just produce a little vlog here and talk about my channel a little bit and some things in the past. So I first wanted to give a shout out to Ali Abdal. He's a productivity YouTuber, and I highly recommend his channel. He's helped me out significantly. I can't stress how much he's actually helped me out indirectly. I haven't purchased anything from him. I've only watched his free content, and that man can really put together a good YouTube channel. I'm really impressed, and he's somebody I'm just going to continue following from here on out. So I put a link down in the description below that you can go and check his channel out. He was the YouTuber that I watched that really got me past the hump, and the hump being producing content for my channel. I had intentions of doing this channel for 4 years now, and I just couldn't get myself to produce anything. The videos that I had made before releasing the two prior to this one were not great. They did not sound like me at all. I sounded very robotic, not personable, and I really hope that if you're watching this and you're thinking about starting your own channel, is that you take that action step and just start posting videos. And that's what this one really kind of is. It's a video for me to practice. It's a video for me to get comfortable talking to a camera, getting comfortable hearing myself talk, hearing myself on video when I play it back. And these videos are really important, and Ali really talked about that importance. It's just producing videos just to get the practice. None of these videos are going to be great. They're not going to be like blockbuster million views, but they're going to be what moves you, what moves me. So the big item I think that I really took from Ali was that nobody really watches the first videos. Nobody really watches them all the way through, and it's just getting your practice done. The people that do, celebrate them. Celebrate those that leave your comments, interact with them, but really, like, it's just getting that production and getting videos out onto the platform so that YouTube can then promote your videos to other people. Transferring a little bit, I'm thinking about my channel like I would and did do in the past. In the early to mid 2000s, I'm kind of dating myself here, back when the internet first started getting high speed, when you could actually stream videos. I was fortunate enough to have high-speed internet and a decent camera. I didn't think about video as being a part of what I was documenting back then. What I documented back in the early to mid 2000s was some of my previous car builds. I used to do some drifting, and I enjoyed track days. I did several car builds on forums. Back then, one of the trends was to make a car build, and people would then navigate to that car forum, find your car build, and follow along with with what you're doing. And at the time, it didn't dawn on me that video would have been a good thing to do, but looking back, in hindsight's 2020, I should have been making some videos, even if they were really poor quality. But over the years, on a website that is no longer around, I had at one point 10,000 plus views on one of my car builds. And when you're talking about a forum that had a couple hundred active users, that's a lot of views on a build. And it just taught me that things really take a long time to develop. At first, nobody was really interacting with me on what I was documenting. And over time, what ended up happening is people from other forums started coming in and actually commenting on my post. So just thinking about that and thinking about this channel as a progress, it's my art channel. I know is going to be a process. This is going to be something that's going to take a lot of time. Obviously, my art isn't where I think I need to be for it to be sold. That's just, I think, personal expectations of where I think a threshold would be. I feel like I'm getting close, and I feel like every time I put out I make myself a new painting, I'm inching closer and closer to that threshold where I think, okay, I can start selling my art now. But again, it's a process, and that same process applies to my channel. My channel is not going to be at first incredibly productive as far as views or subscriber count, but I'm looking at the channel as a way that I find enjoyment. So I really enjoyed the process back then of documenting my car builds, and I think when I get into more of a swing with this channel, I'm going to really enjoy the process of documenting my artwork and all the things that I'm doing with my artwork. So the last 4 months for me personally have been incredibly difficult and filled with adversity. I hurt my back at the end of September, and I didn't do anything that would have caused a long-term injury, but that's the implications I'm dealing with at the moment. I just started a therapy today, and I haven't noticed anything yet, but it's only been about 3 hours since I took the medication. And I'm really hoping that between this one and possibly something that's coming up in 2 weeks, that my life drastically gets back to what it used to be. And it's been a really slow process. Things have just dragged out as far as seeing doctors. There's been long wait lists. There has been difficulties with insurances, difficulties with the disability company. Just things are not easy to do when you have no idea how to do them. And waiting to see the specialist that I saw yesterday, it took 6 weeks to see him. It was, I think that's just the way that the current medical system is if there is a specific person you need to see, that person has a long wait list. So having this extended time off of my day job, while a lot of this time off has been filled with pain and impatience and dealing with paperwork and making a lot of phone calls, it's allowed me to reflect. And I got to reflect on a lot of things, one of them being this channel. Another one was my art. And the other things were items I want to pursue in my personal life. And depending on how my treatment went, whether I was able to get back to what I used to be previously or if I had to adapt, I was already starting to make those plans. If I needed to find a new job, I was making those plans. If I was going back to my current job, I was making those plans. My expectations have always been to go back, and I think, and and the specialist also thinks that I will be able to go back, and that's really exciting to me. I really actually like my day job. It's a lot of fun and it's a good challenge, and it keeps me really interested in a lot of technical things that my brain is really geared for. So the other things I wanted to pursue were really my art and developing my art. And I've kind of roughly planned out a course of action with that. Of course, all of this is then going to be documented here on my channel. And with the documentation part on the channel being said, that kind of transfers me into shouting out to another YouTuber named Kelsey Rodriguez. I found her about a year and a half ago. She was making art. She was making videos about business on YouTube, how to make money on YouTube, other ways that you can transfer and make additional money using YouTube. And I've really been motivated by her. She's made really great progress for herself. I can tell she's worked really hard on her channel over the last couple of years. I didn't really find her until she had a couple of videos that took off, and that's really kind of the way that YouTube just is. So my big takeaways from her was just creating a second stream of income. And that income is really however it's going to manifest into being with YouTube, whether it's AdSense, whether it's affiliate marketing, or whether it's I produce a small line of prints of an artwork that I've made that I feel are good enough to be sold. So she's really developed my internal drive on how to sell my artwork when it comes to that point. And I just want to document from where I've started, which is zero. Obviously, if you're watching this video right now, you're probably one of the first people to watch my channel. So that's kind of cool, I guess. If you're watching this a couple years from now and there's a couple thousand views on this video, you can see how much I've changed, which is really what you want on YouTube. So thinking about a secondary stream of income, I thought, okay, if I earned an extra $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. What could I do with that after taxes? And some of the things that I've really been wanting to try are Golden's fluid acrylics. I'm sorry, not the fluid acrylics. It's Golden's high flow acrylics and the So Flat lines of their acrylic paints. Both of those look really interesting. I've even bought a few of the high flow acrylics to try with some of my striping brushes to get something that was a little bit easier to manage. And I found it to be really great. I really like them. I'm obviously using them to paint, and I'm using them with brushes. But they do appear to be something that I could try filling some markers with and using markers. And they're impressive. I really have thought they're fantastic. I'll try to buy some from, when I do go back to work and I have a steady income again. They just are really nice paints. And so one of my thoughts was, if I had $100 extra per month, I could go down and buy, 5 or 6 high flow acrylic little bottles of them and try them out and try mixing them with some of the fluids. And I have done that, and it does make the fluid a little bit easier to make flatter on the canvas, so you don't have as much impasto on the canvas with the paint. And that's something I try to strive for a little bit, is trying to get my paintings to be, I wouldn't say fully looking like they're printed, but I want you to see some paintbrushes in them, but they also look somewhat flat. So you can kind of see the one over my right shoulder there. It's got hard edges to it. And I think that's kind of what I've been exploring at the moment. So that's one of my goals. But speaking of goals, the first and main goal I have for my channel is to produce 98 videos without worrying about my subscriber count or my view count. And along with that goal of producing 100 initial videos is incrementally improving each video along the way. So with that, this is my 97th video, or I have 97 left. And the final thought I want to leave you with is what I have written above my computer on my whiteboard. It says, the action you will take today has a direct result on where you'll be tomorrow. Make your actions count. So thanks to Ali Abdal and Kelsey Rodriguez for creating content that is extremely useful to people like me. And I'll see you next week.